Welcome one and all to Gaming News, a show where we talk about the latest in gaming. And of course we had the PS5 event that occurred yesterday. Now that was really amazing, I really enjoyed it, but I think people need to be, take a step back, take a breather, and realize what is actually going on, what's transpiring. Are these games, all of these games exclusives? For the most part, it seems like they might be, but some of these seem like they may not be actually exclusives, even though they kind of said in the beginning that they were. Now, if you can tell from my title, Spiderman Miles Morales delayed. Why, question mark, is it delayed? Will it be delayed? I honestly think it will be. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, why do you say that? Well, actually, let's take a look at the game, at the announcement. The fact that they're just recently announcing it without actually showing gameplay kind of says a lot. There is definitely something going on. This is a game that they must have been working on for quite some time, right? However, Spider-Man had only recently launched. Marvel Spider-Man had recently launched about 2 years ago. So it's kind of saying a lot that this is actually finished. I'm going to have to go ahead and say this is going to be delayed. It's not going to come out. It's saying a holiday, but the fact is, usually a lot of games, some say holiday or say like somewhere 2020, and when you see the release date, it'll say 12/31/2020. It doesn't necessarily mean it will be there. I'm gonna take a guess and say this game will be delayed, because I'm wondering, is this just gonna be a reskin of Spider-Man? It looks like it has different things, but at the same time, I need to see some gameplay. Because if not, am I just going to be playing as Miles Morales, but just with Spider-Man? Like, you know what I mean? What's going to be? It looks like it's going to be different, but the fact that it says, obviously, Holiday 2020. If they don't show any gameplay at all as this time progresses, I'm still saying that this is definitely not going to be a launch time. Well, I guess depending define launch, it's not necessarily going to come out when the PS5 comes out. I'm thinking this is going to be delayed until next year. Not sure when next year, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be delayed. I cannot wait to play it, but I need to see the gameplay. There's a lot of these games being announced. Some of them showing gameplay, which is really great, that's what we want. But then there's also CGI trailers. And I think we're at that point where it's like, yeah, you can make a beautiful CGI trailer, right? But can you make a fun game? Spider-Man alone is a spectacular game, amazing game, okay? But we gotta see it. We gotta see what differences do they make, or is this gonna be like an Assassin's Creed thing, or Far Cry thing, where they come out with another game, every say 2 years, in this instance, with basically the same thing, little changes here and there, but nothing really that drastic. It has to be something that makes you go, wow. This could have only been on the PS5. Or is this something that we're just going to look at? Yeah, I can see that on the PS4. Why couldn't we see it on the PS4? And will it be on the PS4? I honestly don't think it will. They want to push the PS5, obviously, so they're not going to be releasing any more games or of their games on the PS4. I think it's great that they're launching it. I think it's going to do well. A lot of people will purchase this thinking that, it's going to launch. However, it's saying, obviously, Holiday 2020. but everything is subject to change. This is subject to change. Most likely, it will be delayed until next year. That's just the way things are. A lot of games, when they don't have release dates, it's because, well, they're not usually going to release unless they're 100% certain. You know, Rockstar did it with Red Dead 2, where they announced it and they said it's immediately coming out on this day. So without specifications, it could mean this will be delayed, along with other games. I'm sure there's some games that we have seen that are fully, playable and that will be coming out. The question is, which games will that be? What games are we to expect to come out? Come launch day. I think that's something that we're gonna have to kind of take a look, step back, and take a look at everything that's transpiring. They still haven't even announced when this console is coming out. They obviously said that, it's coming, holiday, or somewhere in November, most likely around that time. The earliest, I would be surprised if it's in October. That would be very surprising, but I highly doubt that's what's going to happen. So it's most likely going to be in November, so you can buy it there, and in December. So, birthday presents, everybody wants to, what's that new gift you got to get? This one. But also we got to think about the price. And that's another thing that we actually have to discuss. You see, everyone is so hyped about it, seeing all these games. Which, it's a lot of great games. Some of these, I'm just kind of surprised because it seems like it could be done on the PS4. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like, you need the PS5 for this type of game. I've seen some like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 that actually, I can see why you would need the PS5. But I have there's some where I'm kind of like, this one seems like it could only be made using the PS5 engine, or just the PS5 in general. But other ones, not so much, and I don't see why it would be that way. And here's the thing about this. So if you look at the thumbnail, let me go back here. If you look at the thumbnail, it says play has no limits. First and foremost, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. There you can see it now. Play has no limits. Actually, it does. You see, in order to play the PS4 and even say PS5, they haven't fully announced it, but I doubt they're going to go back on it. If they do, that would be great. You see, what I would want is for this game, for this console, to be able to play it without PlayStation Plus. If you don't have PlayStation Plus, then you are screwed in trying to play multiplayer games, unless the companies themselves say you don't require PlayStation Plus. I think there's a lot going on that you need to look at and look at the big picture. Sony has announced multiple games in the past couple of years. They had announced deep down in the PS4, they had announced H1Z1, which was a zombie game. It never came to fruition. We actually just got a Battle Royale because the company did that instead. And it took, almost the entire life cycle of the PS4. And you gotta look at everything. You see, for launch titles. Let's see if we can find it here. So there was a lot of games that were being kind of like presented and shown. Let's see, maybe it's this. What the hell? What is this thing? What the? I The hell is this? Skip it. Skip this goddamn ad. Like, what the hell? Facebook? No one gives a crap about Facebook. So, when this launched, right, there were a lot of games that were kind of being showcased. And the thing is, yeah, a lot of them didn't actually make it. I'm trying to see if I can find any in here. But let me just look it up then. It's called Deep Down. So Deep Down, which has yet to come out, and may never actually come out if it even is a game. See, look at this. 6 months ago. What the hell happened to Deep Down? 7 years ago. This was the gameplay. So we'll get to that soon. This was 6 years ago. But what the hell happened? You see, we were told, like, oh man, look at this game. This is going to be amazing. And the game actually looked really good. And we were kind of expecting something like this spectacular. We didn't know that this wouldn't actually be a working title. Right? Deep Down working title. This never came out. This is going to be one of those games where we look back and we're like, oh man, remember when that game was announced? But it was never launched. It was basically just showcasing it. And I'm sick and tired of it. I think there's a lot of games that we look at this. It looked amazing. But it was just kind of just, in a way, I mean, to trick people into thinking, yeah, this is what if this was a PS4 could do, right? But it's not out. I think you gotta wonder about all these other games that are supposedly gonna come out on the PS5. I'm certain that Spider-Man, that Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Spider-Man 2, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, any God of War 2, or whatever they call it, will be great. But you gotta also take a step back and think of, like, you know, how much great are all these other games gonna be? You know, are they gonna be able to take advantage of the system, of everything that it has? I think you gotta really ask yourself, you know, if something is worth it. Sometimes you gotta take a step back to really look at the big picture, and especially with the way Sony has been kind of treating people. But yeah, that's honestly just my opinion. I mean, take it as you want. But I definitely think that this is gonna be something that you kind of just have to take a step back. I mean, look at this. The Dark Sorcerer is a PlayStation thing. 7 years ago, they did a whole thing, but a lot of it doesn't come to fruition. It wasn't even a game. I remember people saying that it's like it wasn't a game. They only had certain things done. I think it's important to look at, like, the big picture, to see things as they are, and not just go with the flow. Oh, they're saying this, I'm gonna go with that. I mean, take a look at Last of Us 2. There's a lot of people who reviewed it who are just praising it, and then there's people actually talking about it, about what actually is happening. There's a few in Metacritic, and it's honestly very disturbing to see that some people apparently are not being allowed to talk about the other part of the game or certain aspects of the game. So you gotta say, how much of this game is a 10 out of 10? You have to rate the whole game on what it is. And I feel like a lot of reviewers, for not wanting to get on PlayStation's bad side, or Naughty Dog's bad side, because they want to get those games, like IGN. But it's interesting because IGN Japan gave it a very interesting score. You see, they gave it something that I was actually surprised, and I'm like, okay, that's what it seems like. It probably would be. It seems more believable. Is a 70. You see, it's an astounding 96, right? Obviously, it has not fully launched, so we're gonna actually get to see people purchase the game, see how it is. IGN Japan, The Last of Us 2 Part 2 tries too hard to differentiate itself from its predecessor, while astonishing cityscapes and more varied combat options that are great evolution of Part 2. Part 2, let me go right here. Part 2 lacks the poetic serenity that made the original road movie epic such a masterpiece. On top of that, uninteresting new characters burden the story, making Ellie's journey feel conventional and not nearly as captivating as the original. So, according to even a lot of people talking about it, leaving comments, there seems to be a whole differentiation of what exactly, who's getting what, how are things being reviewed. And this is going to be something that I think a lot of people need to take a closer look at. You need to go to the people that you actually trust. Me personally, the reviewers that I can honestly say that I trust to give an honest opinion about something are, of course, Game Ranks, ACG, and of course, the one that I'm like, bam, he's up there at the top, is Angry Joe. If you're wondering, if you're like thinking like, well, where's his review? Well, he didn't get a review copy because he doesn't kiss ass like all these other companies. He tells you how it is, how the game is going to be. And yeah, so sometimes we just got to wait and see what's going to happen. Because Sony and, Naughty Dog, whatever, they want to control the narrative. And they have the money to do so, so that's what they're going to do. They've done horrible things to people, to both people working for them and people just talking about their products. So when you go and purchase this game, or maybe just want to watch a review to see if this is what you need to watch, I say wait before you purchase this. And just so you know, this does not have multiplayer. In case you were wondering if Last of Us 2 will have multiplayer, online multiplayer, so no online multiplayer. They're not going to have that. I don't think they were capable of that. I don't think they're going to have that. Maybe in the future if they can get the right people, but everyone seems to be leaving Naughty Dog. So there's just so much information out there, guys. Please explore. Look at everything possible, okay? And don't just believe what, certain people are just telling you. Like, hell, even me, right? If you don't believe anything I've said or my opinions on the matter, go ahead and look at other reviewers. Look at comments of people talking. Look at everything. Talk to other people about this. Because honestly, who knows what the hell's going to happen. I mean, would you want to see reviews controlled by gaming companies? I mean, seriously. Yeah, that's not good for anyone. So, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on another exciting episode of Gaming News. For more videos, click over there. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos like these, as well as other content. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, keep on gaming. Bye.